I am Carol and this is my channel Sew Carol. You have joined me on hashtag Friday Sews, which of course was created by Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. Just a chance for all us sewing community to get together on a Friday, have a bit of a chat, see what we've been up to and see what our plans are for the following week. Now, this week's Friday Sews of mine is going to be divided into the first half is the Friday Sews and the second half will be my kind of December diaries. Haven't had a chance the last couple of days, so I sort of mush it all into one. I have done a lot of sewing this week. All quick things, as is my character. First thing I will start with was we went to see my daughter in her concert, which was amazing, on Saturday, and I just wanted to just run up a quick dress. Now that sounds like I'm bragging. Oh, I just ran up a quick dress, but I have used this pattern many times before. It's McCalls 7122. It's a learn to sew pattern and it's really good. It's got raglan sleeves. I did sort of the full length sleeve and sort of a shorter version. I've made this in many forms. I've done tunics, I've done the short sleeve dress. I've never done the leggings because I can never find the right fabric to make leggings. Anyway, so I made that up and I wore that just with some dark tights and boots, and it is behind me. Really pleased with it. Such an easy dress to wear. It's got a centre back seam, which just gives it a little bit more shape, but really pleased with that. I also made this week, I wanted to use the fabric that I got from my very first Think Pink subscription box, which was this green poncho, like a jacquard, almost like a jacquard look. So for that, I did something a bit different. I used this pattern, again, used it many times before, 6298 new look, and I made the full length sleeve, but the one with the pockets. Now, I wasn't going to originally put pockets on, and I never have before, but I felt it was just a bit too plain without them. So I added the pockets, and on me, it comes down just a little bit low, and which is fine, but with this colder weather we are having right now, which is freezing, I just wanted something a bit more. So it's behind me, and as you can see, I made a scarf to go on top of it. So that is it, and then I have the scarf, and I copied the idea from this pattern, which I've also made, New Look 6632. It's got a strange shelf number there. Now, I have made this dress before, but I'm not a massive fan of these pockets. They're inseam pockets because it's got sort of princess line. But if I can describe these pockets to you, they just kind of, they're loose, hang down, and then you have to do this joining bit between the two, and I never really liked that. But what I did like was the fact that it just came with a tube scarf. Simple to do. I didn't do it the width of this. I didn't really have enough fabric, but so all I did was just made a tube, turned it inside out, and I've got just a bit of a scarf bit. So I don't know if I could start the evening off in with a scarf, and when I get a bit hot, as I tend to do every now and again, I can just put that on there. So I quite like that idea. I do quite like the dress. The only thing I would say is the fact that the weight of the dress is pulling down a bit. You've got the hem at the bottom, but it's pulling down, so it's making it look just a little bit big here on me, but that's me being picky. So that was those two. I made another poncho for my daughter because I bought some fabric a few weeks ago, lovely knitted fabric, and I made the famous poncho. I'm not going to talk much more about it because we've talked about it so many times before. Some other things I've made this week is I finished the boys' hoodies for matching hoodies for Christmas. So that's the small one, and he's getting bigger, isn't he? Because when I used to hold little things up, it's rapidly getting bigger. So that's the one I made I'm not even going to show you the pattern because it's the same old pattern, Simplicity 8526, and I'm just too embarrassed to hold it up again because it's the same one. but I used that one. And then I made one for the 5-year-old, slightly bigger. So they are going to be cute as buttons, just on Christmas Day or before Christmas Day, because I think my daughter wants them before then. But I was really pleased with that. That was the fabric I got from Echo Bee in Ireland. I also finished my other mug rug. I made a mug rug, which Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews did a whole tutorial in it. Her idea, absolutely fabulous. And I've finally got around to doing the second one. So the tree looks slightly bigger sized in that one. Anyway, they're not exactly the same, but at least now my husband and I have both got one of those. If I got time, I might do some more because I just had so much fun making these. I've also made 3 more pouches. I've still got some pouches to make. Thank you, Adam from Adam Sews, because I used his pattern again. I can't show you those, but I am in love with them. The fabric I have used is absolutely beautiful. It's for somebody in the family. I have some fabric left, so in the new year I will be making myself some because I am so jealous of them. Everything I seem to be making for people this time round, I'm really envious of. So, got a few more to make. Now, I also received my Sew magazine this week, and in the Sew magazines, we get 2 patterns, and they must be, it was the January magazine, and they must be thinking ahead to summer because these were the 2 patterns I got. Now, from my last experience of the Simplicity tiered dress, that's not going to work for me, but my daughter may well like it. And this one here is very similar to one I've got before. Not sure about it. That V is very, very low on her, and it would be even lower on me. So a couple of summary patterns. I did have a quick look through the magazine, and I have to show you something that made me laugh. Maybe it's the trend, I don't know. But this baby's hat, I mean, that just made me laugh. But the cutest thing ever in the magazine was this. Have you ever seen anything so cute? I love his little ears. So inside it, you got the pattern to make that. So if anyone comes along little in our family again, I'm going to keep that. What I just tend to do is just keep a few pages and then just put them in a folder. I don't keep the whole magazine. I popped to the charity shop this week, as you might have seen in one of my December diaries. I picked up this pattern, Simplicity 1112. I think it's from 2015. And yes, again, for the summer. But what I liked about it is I just liked these easy trousers here and just the easy shorts to make out of a sort of georgette fabric. Would that be right? Or a crepe? So I'm going to put that aside for the summer. It's uncut. Brilliant. I also came across 3 knitting patterns, and in my Beyond the Pink Door subscription box I had this pom-pom, and I want to make a hat so I can put it on the top, and luckily enough they had some couple of patterns for hats. Now I could probably go on to Pinterest or go online, but actually I'm old school. I like having it written in front of me, so I'm sure I can find something out of those 2. They were so cheap. I also saw this, which is really sweet. It's a moss stitch cardigan. It's a beginner's one, and I'm going to put that away in case I ever need it again. So I think that is it on the sewing side. I was very busy. Next week, I'm going to try and have a go. I had this month's Beyond the Pink Door fabric was this beautiful Christmas tree fabric. And my mum did say, well, what are you going to make out of that? And when I said, oh, probably a dress, her look was a picture. Yes, I know it's very different to make a dress out of the Christmas tree fabric, but I just don't want to fall into the trap of making pyjamas again. I think it'd be quite fun. The only thing is I'm not quite sure what to make with it. My immediate thought was a wrap dress, which I've used this pattern before. New Look 6301. I've made the straight skirt version. I've also made the slightly flared version. But again, it's chilly, but we're indoors, so it might work. Or do I go for this one, but make those longer sleeves? I'm not sure. What concerns me is it's a cotton jersey, so it's not really got any drape. So if all else fails, it will be pyjamas for Christmas, because I haven't got any Christmas pyjamas, but I would really like to do something else with that. So that's the end of the Friday sews. I'm now going to launch into my Sew December diaries. And what I've got to do is I've got 2 advent calendars to open. Now I've released the sticker. I promise I haven't looked, but I released the sticker so there was less rustling. I got number 7 and number 8. So I'm going to open number 7 for you. It's fabric. Oh, it's another fat square. Holiday, North Pole, holly jolly. That's lovely, isn't it? I like that. Ho, ho, ho. I really like that. I think somebody had the brilliant idea of actually keeping these fat squares for next Christmas, because I've done a lot of the Christmas things already, and that is a really good idea. So that was number 7. Number 8 is shaped very strangely. What have we got on here? What's this? Oh, it's a really, really pretty zip. Do you know, I really don't know what this is. Is it an invisible zip? It looks like it. Yeah, it's an invisible zip, but it's got this pretty lace around the outside. I'm going to go to you, my lovely people that tell me things when I don't know what they are. If anyone can tell me this. Oh, it's so pretty though, isn't it? What have I been doing this week? Well, today we went to get our Christmas tree. So I will put some little photos in of us getting our Christmas tree. So the Christmas tree now is in the garage and it's going to be put up the weekend. What you're meant to do is chop it off by 1 inch, soak it in water and then bring it into the house. And what we got to remember to do is turn the radiator off. That it normally sits in the bay window with a radiator, and one year we forgot to turn the radiator off, so the tree died very quickly. So I've got to remember to do that. Trouble is, it blocks out most of the heat and blocks out most of the light, so it's very dark for a few weeks when we have the Christmas tree up. Something else this week I did, we've had our kitchen painted and I was putting everything back on the walls after the decorator had gone, and I thought actually I'd share some of the things that I've got on my walls with you, so I just put this clip in.
This is not Christmas related at all, but one of my jobs today was to rehang everything in my kitchen from when it was decorated. But as I was hanging these plates, which I collect, I thought I'd show them to you because nobody ever comments on them and I love them so much. They were Alfred Meakin plates. I think they date back from the 50s, but gradually over the years I've collected them from eBay. So I've got a couple of duplicates, but they're all so pretty. This bottom one is a slightly different shape, it's not quite round. That's a black and white one, quite a big dinner size plate, and then I've got 2 the same here, but I had to buy them in a set, so I had to go with that. This wooden spoon was actually bought in the Waltons Museum in Virginia. So it's very, very close to my heart. And the other couple of things I've got is cowbells from Austria. One last thing I'm going to show you in my kitchen, and I promise I'll stop doing the tour. But this is a huge fork and spoon. This again is just makes me laugh, because if anybody has ever watched Everybody Loves Raymond, in our family we are massive fans of it. I think my son knows every episode word for word, but the famous fork and spoon hangs in Marie's kitchen, and I saw it on eBay a few years ago and I just had to buy one, and I've got it in my utility. But oh, it just makes me laugh. It's huge.
Now, we haven't got any Christmas decorations up yet. We will probably do it at the weekend. We tend to do it 2 weeks before Christmas, and I think that'll work out about right. But my husband did put the lights up around the front of the house. Now, if you're living in America, you will laugh your socks off, because all we do is just put a string of lights around the garage, around the house. We've got a small tree, and this year, instead of kind of going round the tree as most people do, for some reason he's just gone a string of lights straight up. It looks hilarious. So we've done that. We are close to 4 houses, and I have to say we are the only ones that ever put any Christmas lights up, so we have to remain a little bit understated, but it's a bit bright, you can see from the main road. This weekend, it's quite a quiet one. I mean, it's just jobs, it's Christmas lights, it's Christmas decorations, it's bringing the tree in. We have got a mountain of presents to wrap, which we're going to have a big wrapping marathon session at the weekend. And that's about it. This will be probably the last quiet sort of couple of days before Christmas. So I'm going to enjoy doing that. And then next week, got lots of like lunches out and things like that to go to. So that'll be good fun. So how are you all doing with your December plans? It's fast approaching, isn't it? And I said this right at the beginning, it's like an uphill battle. I always think Christmas. So I just hope everybody stays well. That's the main thing, isn't it? So I'm going to continue with my Sew December diaries, probably on Sunday, and I'll show you the decorations and the things we've done. And I want to make a couple of things, cook a couple of things for Christmas as well. So I'll probably do that next week. Thank you for joining me on #FridaySews and Sew December diaries if you stayed on. And have an amazing weekend, and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.